we're doing live.
Oh, there we are.
We're on.
Looks like it.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Let me get it up on my page too in case I don't see comments. Oh, yeah. Ah, cool. Okay. So welcome everyone. Today's a little bit different. Usually we do soul chats with Sarah tomorrow, but tomorrow we're having the full moon sigil magic class for the ladies in the Lunar Sanctuary. So we're chatting today. We've got the beautiful Tierrah Smith, who is all in the know about these energies, what some of us perceive as dark forces or evil, and we're going to be having a chat about them today, about the about astral vampires. I just think this topic is so cool.
Yes.
We spoke a little bit about energy vampires last week, but as promised, I said we'd go a bit deeper today.
Absolutely. I am so freaking excited. It's my birthday. I was like, I want to do something for my birthday. So yes, and I'm just putting up some extra protection.
Yes, and happy birthday again, darling.
Thank you.
How old are you today in this life?
24.
24. Yeah. Love it.
Yes. Whew. So I love this. I love this topic. I work with spirits all the freaking time. I kind of stopped for a while because, you know, we had those energy vampires coming in. And
I think everyone felt that.
Causing a lot of doubt. But
chaos energy.
Yes. So in order to understand astral vampires, we first need to understand purgatory. And I am so freaking excited to discuss purgatory with you guys.
Yes, I want to hear all about it.
So purgatory, it's that realm between realms, right? And there are essentially two types of spirits that preside or reside, there it is, that reside in purgatory. There's the indigenous and the non-indigenous. So the indigenous, they're born there. They've evolved to thrive within this realm, to go in between the earth realm and that realm to affect people and energies. Then you have the non-indigenous. These ones are human spirits that become trapped there because they either have unresolved trauma, died in a traumatic way, they feel like they have something that they haven't finished. So what'll happen is their earthbound spirit will get stuck there, and they don't know how to communicate this. They don't know how to communicate that they have unresolved trauma. The third dimension is still very, very dense. They're still attached to the third dimension, and they can't go anywhere else. So basically what happens is, as they stay within purgatory, they forget their humanity. They lose who they are. And this causes them to turn into different types of demons that have aspects of whatever trauma or experiences that they have unresolved. So when we're talking astral vampires, these are spirits. There are ones that are directly from purgatory, the indigenous ones that are like, yes, feed off of the good energy. But sorry. I got a birthday text, but
you probably get a lot of those.
Yeah. But basically you have those ones that are born to thrive off of energy, and then you have the ones that were once human that have unresolved trauma, that don't know how to deal with it. They don't know who they are anymore. They don't have memories of themselves, their families. Everything goes out the window, and they become essentially a demon. And this is where a lot of different types of demons come from. And of course, there are ones that are directly from the sixth dimension that have their jobs to teach people their karmic lessons and guide them in the correct path. But then you have those ones that were human that come in to affect you just because they don't know who they are. So it's so important to understand.
Yes. Yeah. I was just gonna, what I keep being reminded of is this woman that went through a possession years ago, and Hitler came through as one of the demons. So that makes total sense to me, that he would be stuck in that kind of purgatory and come through as a demonic, right?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And some of them, they decide to stay in the astral realm because they have this vengeance within themselves. Like, you know what? I don't want to pass on. I want to cause harm to others because I had harm caused to me. So when you have this understanding of these spirits, you can kind of walk in the middle realm of love and compassion, because you do realize you were once human. You were once in a lot of pain. How do I help you understand and come back to that human side of yourself? And once you do, that's kind of when they start to dissipate. That's when they lose their power. They'll remember, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm in pain. I don't like that. And then you can start helping them work through it. So, yes.
That was going to bring me to a question on what I believe is true for me, but those beings kind of stuck or choosing to be there, they are souls, right?
Yes.
Apart from are the indigenous ones born there still souls? I guess they are, in a sense.
They are souls, but they're not necessarily human. They haven't really had a human incarnation. So these souls, these spirits are indigenous to this specific realm. A lot like other realms. Like we have elementals and stuff that choose not to incarnate as human. So those ones are just there to kind of move within realms, in between realms, to cause some chaos, because that's just what they're about.
Well, I guess that's their purpose.
Yes, that is their purpose for sure. Yeah. Some of them are a lot more malicious than others. A lot of times, some of them don't even have this like super malicious intent. But since we're talking specifically about astral vampires, vampires are born to feed off of life energy. That's what a vampire is. There's all sorts of different types, but that's the essence of a vampire. They feed off of life force. And kind of with my own personal experience, the first one I ever dealt with was my ex-best friend. She had one attached to her toddler son. He was only 2.5, and this specific one was called a Sith. And basically the way that this one was formed, because she lived with her aunt, or adoptive aunt. Her aunt kind of like adopted her and the children. But she lived with them. And this specific Sith was attached to her aunt's stepson. And basically what had happened is the stepson was there during the death of his cousin. They were both infants, and the cousin was diagnosed with like SIDS. They say he died of SID. But considering the way that the grandmother was extremely abusive, especially to the boys, all of the boys, they suspected that she came in and smothered him, but
Oh my.
there was no proof of that.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
what had happened was this baby, the spirit of this baby attached to its cousin
yeah.
and slowly started feeding off of that. And then it started gaining this like wrath within
Yes.
itself, losing himself. Obviously he was an infant. He didn't have much of a human personality yet. He didn't develop. So
Yeah.
it was very easy for him to become this Sith, but it attached directly to the toddler boy, not the girl, the boy. So when you work with these different spirits, you can kind of understand where they're coming from. Like, this was a whole investigation for me. Like
Uh,
it was an experience. And when you start understanding that, like, the first time we had to fight it off because it kept getting stronger and stronger, causing all of this fighting within the family, essentially evolving into a poltergeist. And um, we had to fight it off in the first round. And in the second round, about a month later, uh, we were having problems again. So
yeah.
what I did is I went a lot deeper to understand exactly what this spirit is. And once I did, I was able to help this baby, this infant, understand who it was.
Hmm.
Like, and that it's okay to move on just by showing him compassion and being like, I understand that pain. I understand that wrath. You didn't even have like a proper way to experience emotions, and you had this life taken away from you. So when you're in this state, of course it's so important to protect yourself, but it's so much easier to help remove them from the astral realm, which then helps lighten the load on the third dimension and helps ascend. But yeah.
Yeah. And you seem to have a natural talent for this work. Like a lot of people wouldn't dare go there because of the fear through religious oppression and even past life issues with possession, I believe. Because myself and a client found that fear in ourselves. Oh, we had a possession and that's why we're afraid of demons. But really, when we strip all of those beliefs away and all of those past traumas away, what we're left with is your perception of this is, which is what I love, and it's that they are beings as well. And
Yeah.
did you do any training for this? It feels like you've just known how to do this in this life because you've probably done it multiple lifetimes.
Absolutely. I had no training. Like, that was my training in this lifetime. That was the beginning of my training. And I was like, huh, that's an experience. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Like, we're going with it.
yeah, awesome. And you mentioned you had a recent run in with an astral vampire as well. Was this one in your dreams, did you say? I think because many of us were having some really weird dreams about a week ago, and there was some chaos energy attached to that, wasn't there?
There was so much chaos with that. This one, it was trying to attack me in my dreams. I couldn't necessarily sleep. I was restless. And
Yeah.
I realized I would start sleeping on my stomach. Anytime I cover my stomach, I know I'm under some sort of attack. So, because it's going directly for that life force, that powerhouse, the solar plexus. So, I know I'm under some sort of attack at that point in time. So, I was tired, didn't want to deal with it. So, I was just kind of like, okay. Um, I call on my guides. Archangel Michael, come in, please give me some protection. And my cats, all of my cats came in the room, and one of them was laying on my stomach, one of them was laying above my head,
Oh,
and I had put up
wow.
armor
Yeah.
because the entire day I was getting imagery of armadillos, which I never have. So I was like, okay, that's obviously a sign. Let me look into that.
Mm.
What's the armadillo spirit about? And it's all about protection. You know, they have that outer shell, that outer armor. And
Yes.
me being me, I completely ignored it. I was like, oh yeah, no, that's not a problem. Go to bed. I'm under some sort of attack. And I'm like, oh, huh. No, you guys are probably right. Yeah. So, yeah, that usually happens when I ignore you. So, I uh, did a meditation to put on some armor, some light armor, because I was like, okay, we're not dealing with this. But I still kept waking up and was restless. And there was this being, uh, like this black being, long, long fingers. It was weird.
Ooh.
But it kept like trying to creep up on me while I was in bed, and I was just kind of like, no. And it would back off and come back. I was like, no, and back off. So eventually I was just kind of like, okay, obviously I got to deal with it. I can't get any sleep. So so I woke up. I was just kind of like, okay, I'm opening up my sacred space. I'm calling on my guardians. We're gonna get this done and figured out. And once I did that, I was completely protected, and I was able to sit down with this spirit and just be like, okay, what's going on? Like, why are you trying to attack me? Because,
I love
like,
that so much.
I'm trying to sleep. I like my sleep, thank you. So, within this state, it kind of came down. And this has happened a few times before. Like, I'll fight something off because it's trying to attack me. It's extremely aggressive. And then once I show it that it can't push me around, then I'll start getting a bit softer. And I'll be like, okay, tell me who you are. What is your true self? And it was a little boy. He had blonde hair, blue eyes. He was the cutest, but he couldn't talk. And if you remember, I had a dream about a spirit that that was autistic and couldn't speak. And in that same dream is when I had that psychic that came in and was like, okay, we're gonna put a hex bag to remove this spirit. And I was like, no, that's not how that works. And like this same spirit was just screaming in agony and was like, it hurts, it hurts. Right.
Yeah.
So it was this little boy, he couldn't speak. And I asked him, please show me who you are, show me your pain so I can help you through it. And he was showing me just some of the worst imagery I have ever seen. Extreme
Yeah.
abuse because he couldn't communicate, and it was awful. And he kind of just curled up in the fetal position in the middle of my room and started crying. And I was like, I am so sorry. So within this state, I was able to give this little boy that was once an astral vampire trying to feed off of my energy and attack me. Like, now this little boy, his true human self, I was giving him the love that he never received. And within that, I was able to open up a portal and be like, okay, whenever you're ready to move on, you can go. But while you process this, I will sit with you because I know this hurts. And I stayed here for a good few hours, just sitting with this little boy spirit. And, in this time, it wasn't necessarily entirely sad or anything like that. I started playing with him. I started watching cartoons and was like, hey, you like this? Giving him this human experience that he wasn't able to have before. And that brought him the closure that he needed in order to pass on.
And so did he manifest, like the way he came to you, was that like a manifestation of all of his pain?
Yes. A lot of times that's how astral vampires form themselves, or different types of demons
Yeah.
within purgatory. So they get stuck
Yeah.
there and then they manifest as this pain. It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Because
total
they're
sense.
once this human that is in pain doesn't know how to deal with it. They forget about that and they become that pain. They become that hatred, that anger, that sadness, and they will project it in any way that they can. So bringing them down from that state and helping them understand, like, you were human. Remember your humanity, who you were. It's okay to feel your pain now. I'm a safe space. And within that state, that really helps them come down, process that pain, especially when you have that empathy and compassion. And I know it's hard for people who don't understand spirits or demons or have this natural fear. And like, you see a spirit and they try to communicate with you, you're immediately up in protection mode. You're like, nope, not gonna touch me, screw you, right? You start attacking, so they start attacking, and it's just an endless cycle. So when you have this trust within yourself of, okay, I know I'm protected, I know I can protect myself. When you have that trust, you can sit down and essentially disarm them. You can remove that armor, that manifestation that they are, and really bring them back to center, their heart space, which will then help them move on.
And because obviously these beings come to you because this is like your purpose in this life, is to help these beings, because not everyone is either willing or capable to do that. But what tips would you give to any of the ladies watching this who think they're experiencing an astral vampire, who feel a bit afraid to do this? What would you suggest for them?
Yes. Okay. So first off, grounding and sacral chakra. Work within, not sacral, sorry, solar plexus. Obviously, I said sacral for a reason. So that womb, embracing that darkness and understanding that this darkness is a manifestation of pain. And we've all been there. We've all done that, right? We all sit down. We will project our pain in different ways. So understanding that, but working within your solar plexus, this is your powerhouse. This is what they're trying to feed off of in the first place, right? And when you're stable within this and you trust yourself and your inner power, that will help ground you and keep you out of your head, out of that fear. So once you remove that fear, they can't necessarily feed, right? And of course, I will always, always recommend calling in your guardians, your angels, even if you don't know who they are. That's why they're here. They're here to protect you, especially in those early stages, as you learn how to protect yourself. And so like what I did when I first started, I started calling on my guardians, and my cats would come in and they would sit their back facing me. They would sit facing away like they were guarding me. And especially as I'm doing this work, and it gave me that security within myself that there's nothing around me that can touch me because I have these guardians. So definitely meditation, and learn how to put up a protective shield. And yes, this can be a little difficult, especially at first. So having that intention that you are putting up this shield in the first place, always say it out loud, by the way, because that is where you're putting that energy in motion. Like, you can have the thought, you can have the intention, but it doesn't manifest. Just like with manifestation, right? It stays up in that astral realm. You can't bring it down into the real realm.
Speaking it into existence.
Yes. So you're bringing that energy into motion, saying, I'm putting up a protective shield of light, of diamond light, iridescent light, golden light, whatever light it is that you're drawn to, say it out loud, because that will help it fully manifest. Although you may not be able to see it or feel it, it will come up.
Awesome.
Of course, protection crystals, always lovely, always good to have. So black tourmaline, hematite, obsidian,
I love
all
obsidian.
I love obsidian. I have so much of it. These crystals will help give you this protection that you don't necessarily know how to bring about. Black candles. Lighting a black candle and saying with the intention, saying it out loud, I light this candle to protect myself. And that will then bring this protection around you. You can always, because here's the thing, spirits need permission, right? So that's the whole point of free will, especially with our guides, our angels, our higher beings. They need permission to come in. And that's why when we're in our lowest state, when we're in this state of chaos and hopelessness and doubt, that we start praying, and that's when things start coming to us and we're like, oh, wow. It's because you had to give them permission. So that's the same with negative entities. Now, naturally, they do try and attack. They will affect your energy. But if you tell them, this is my energy, I don't give you permission, that right there will force them to have to go back. And so your words are extremely powerful. And that's why I say work from the solar plexus. Especially, you know how like when you're singing, they say sing from the diaphragm? That's what you're doing. You're talking from the diaphragm, from your solar plexus, your inner power. Saying, this is my energy, this is my power, you don't have permission to affect it. Being stern. Like, you don't have to be malicious or angry or scared. Just be like, you're not allowed. It's literally setting boundaries.
Yeah.
So, yes, those are some of my main, and of course, I love Sage and Palo Santo.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
Always love those. But, those are some of my main tips, because when you have these more negative forces, they come in, feed off of your inner power, off of your fear, and they make you doubt yourself. When in reality, everyone has the ability to protect themselves spiritually. Yeah. Everyone. So when you start calling in that power, and it can be uncomfortable, and you're like, I don't know if this is working, start calling on that power. Start calling on that inner self-worth, and being like, okay, I don't deserve to be feeling this bad. Like, I understand you've got some of your own crap. You've got your own problems you're working through. I'm gonna let you work through them over there. As you learn to protect yourself.
And I know for me, knowing I was protected didn't come naturally to me. And it took me actually a few years of practicing to go, okay, I know I'm protected. I know nothing can come in. I'm stating this like this. I have dominion over my body and my space. But for the ladies, let's just say that they've been trying for months or years, and they know that there's something going on and they're doing all the things. Let's just say they need some extra assistance. Can they reach out to you? Obviously, because this is your area of expertise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that it can be a really tiring experience when you're not necessarily getting the results that you want, and you're really trying, you're trying to learn how to come into this power. A lot of times that's when we have some karmic lessons we need to learn. As we start healing ourselves, that's when these energies will start to subside. And of course, there's always this state within yourself, there will be parasites, pretty much anything implanted within your energy from past life to trauma in this life. That is an energetic parasite. And as you heal, you're removing that parasite. But yes, there, by all means, you can come to me and we'll work through it. Obviously, I like the investigation part of it. It's a good time getting to know these spirits and being like, okay, do you have a specific one that attached to you that was family or was put on you by family or your family by someone else? Like,
Yep.
it's yeah, it's a whole investigation thing.
I love that.
Yes, and the thing is though, is when I do work with you, is this protection that I put on you will only last so long because you need to learn to protect yourself. I can't sit here and protect you and project my energy 100% of the time.
Yes.
Because I have myself I need to protect. I have other people that could be coming to me that need protection as well. So learning your self-worth, and that's where the self-worth comes in, right? Once we understand that I deserve to be safe within my own body, that's when we can start understanding and coming into this this stability within ourselves of I am protected and I have the ability to protect myself. A lot of times, we doubt ourselves and it's like, I can't do this myself. You absolutely can. And that's that self-worth, anything that is projected within your solar plexus. And that's why I work so heavily with it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Fascinating. Ladies, if you have any questions for Tierrah, just pop them in the comments and we can keep an eye. I can't see any comments, but there's a few ladies. Amy said happy birthday.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, we've got some ladies that are going to watch the replay because they came in a bit later. So thank you for joining us, ladies. This was fun. If you have any questions for Tierrah or myself, just tag in the comments. And yeah, do you have any departing words, Tierrah? You've covered a lot.
I have. I've covered so much in these 30 minutes. Honestly, believe in yourself. Work on your self-belief, your self-trust. This is something I've had to work on recently as well. And I will be going in depth and explaining why, like within my own group and stuff. But understanding that I have this inner power, I am worthy to have this inner power. And I know for a fact I won't do any harm by protecting myself and embodying this power. Yeah. It's okay. Like, trust yourself, learn to trust yourself, do meditations, shadow work, all of that fun stuff. And absolutely reach out if you need any help or if you have any questions. I would love to discuss this with you for sure. But yeah, that being said, I hope you guys come in and you leave with something new to help you out with this protection, or some new wisdom or understanding about different spirits or demons. Yeah, I just wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Beautiful.
Of
All right,
course.
ladies, we're going to end the live now. See you soon.
Bye.